Before we start the actual episode, I bought a book.
Okay. What book?
It's called Tasting Beer by Randy Mosher, author of Radical Brewing.
Who is that?
I have no idea. I got it for like $5 at a bookstore.
If you Google him, it just comes up as Brewmaster. That's the only thing associated with him.
So, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about what's actually going into the beer. So, fact of the episode for me is the Sumerians were the first great civilization of the ancient Middle East, and they were very fond of beer. Their word for beer was kas, which translates to literally what the mouth desires.
Kas.
That is what they called beer.
Wait, does he make his own beer?
I have no idea.
I mean, I assume he does, but can you buy it?
I don't know.
Dude, we should do a read Randy Mosher episode.
It might even be Mosher. He might be Mosher.
Mosher. It might be Mosher.
I don't know. Well, he hasn't. We haven't heard from Randy since May 2020, so things might not be looking good for him. We need proof of life on Randy Mosher, please.
Yeah, I'm watching a YouTube video of him from January 3rd of 2023.
Okay. Woo! Dodged that bullet.
Yeah. And there's a video of him from January of 2024. Big January guy.
Yeah, once a year, Randy Mosher comes out in January, and if he sees lacing on your glass, it's another 6-pack. Welcome to Short Pour, the 1 Minute Beer Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chris.
And I'm Brandon. This month we're going to be doing April Sours. And I think right off the bat, we should probably say neither one of us are really sour people.
No.
I drink sours.
No, I don't. I think I tried one and I immediately made that face I just tasted vinegar, and I haven't gone back again.
Yeah, I also tried one. I couldn't do it. It was similar to my first beer. I couldn't finish it. So for this episode, we actually got a couple recommendations to help us out since we are not too familiar with the sour world.
Yeah, so our first beer of the day comes as a recommendation from Miguel at Brewer's Corner.
Yep, here in Kansas City. Our first beer is going to be Prairie Artisan Ales Tiny S's. Which I'm pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one too.
I'm pouring.
Oh, okay, no, sorry, never mind. The other one. The other Prairie one, it says gently agitate before opening the can. This one does not, though.
Oh, where did you see that at?
On the can.
Where? Oh, it's
green...
on the warning labels.
Yeah. Okay, I'm pouring.
Yep, I'll pour.
Okay, immediate thoughts. It smells wild for the color that it is. It looks like a regular beer, but it smells like juice.
Yes, it does smell like juice. It smells like almost like grapefruit, maybe. Yeah.
This isn't a very good descriptor, but it looks like a hazy beer. I thought it. I don't know what I thought it would look like, but it looks like any other kind of beer. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh man,
dude, that's good.
Just tastes like juice, man. That's so
good.
My
god, what the hell? Dude, it tastes like so if you were to close your eyes over it, it tastes. Yeah, it tastes like carbonated juice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that is really good.
That is really good. I like that a lot.
It tastes more. It tastes a little more like appley, actually, to me.
Yeah, I can get that. I can get that too.
What the hell?
I think part of it, I can almost smell the citrusy part to it. Maybe that's why I thought grapefruit.
Yeah, there is a lot of citrus.
Dude, that's wild. Then.
Yeah, okay, this is immediately very different than the first sour beer that I had. I couldn't even tell
Oh
you
yes.
what it was, but like I literally only took a sip and I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I did not like mine.
This is good.
Yeah, no, this is good. I mean, we'll kind of get into some of the reviews and stuff on it, but I do also wonder, like, the people who are like truly into sours, if this is like, oh no, that's like too, it tastes too much like juice, like it tastes too good. This isn't what I wanted. I'm into it.
Well, I will say, I mean, it doesn't taste like a beer. I mean, it doesn't taste like a beer at all.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. Honestly, like, yeah, it tastes more like a cider.
Yes, yeah, I'd agree with that.
That is crazy. Like even like that mouthfeel, like it's so like it's just so like watery and tangy, but there's like the carbonation's different from like a regular beer experience.
Mm-hmm.
It lingers literally like a juice, but not like a beer. I don't know if that makes sense. That is wild.
No, that's right, dude. That is wild.
All right, what is the history on this?
Yeah, so for this one, there's kind of like a merging of two, so we kind of almost have to tell two stories. So the initial history of this actually started with illegal brewing, like when it was illegal to make or possess beer in Oklahoma. So they made what they called chalk beer, which is short for Choctaw beer. And then in 1995, they established or founded Krebs Brewing Company. So they became like, completely legal. It's actually the oldest brewery in the state of Oklahoma. And that is owned and run by Zach Pritchard, who is a fourth generation brewer.
Rund?
Yeah, I didn't think you would hear the D.
Owned and
run. I was like,
oh, baby. That's funny.
Yeah, I realized after I said it. Yeah, anyway, run by them. In 2012, Prairie Artisan Ales was founded by brothers Chase and Colin Healy, and they teamed up with Krebs Brewing to start making Prairie Ale and Bomb, which is their flagship Imperial Stout. Oh. And then in 2016, Krebs formally acquired Prairie Artisan Ales, but their whole like kind of thing, like they made their name for themselves with like their innovation and creativity. And like I assume both the beers here are going to really show that off today.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I will say when we were looking for different ones at the store, I saw a lot of them, and it like all of the ones that I saw that were from Prairie, they all happened to be sours, and they all like looked radically different, and they all did have like one like the cans look really cool, like it is like definitely like they've got that kind of like street art.
I think they like pride themselves. Yeah, they like pride themselves on their like artwork on the cans.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, the S's that they have are like those stupid like S chains that you would draw when you were bored in like 4th grade.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
It's just kind of cool.
I remember someone teaching me how to draw that, and then being like, "All right, like I'm cool now, I guess."
Yeah, I've ascended.
Yeah, because I would just put them all over my notebook, like the just cardboard page on the back was just covered in them.
Yeah, just randomly. Or you could like, I remember. Yeah, I realized that I could make them like in a chain. Like I don't have to cap it after just 2. You could make it like a vine-looking thing.
Yes, yeah. Just make it run the length of the page.
So I'm gonna tell you the back of the can. Actually, also the back of bottle. They say our most highly anticipated release for full distribution. This beer has been an absolute smash hit in the tap room. It's a sour ale made with rainbow chewy candy. It's very delightful and perhaps our highest rated sour ale ever. And like that's it. But everywhere I saw, apparently it's actually made using real popular rainbow chewy candy. Is it like actually made from name brand like Skittles?
I don't know if that's true or not, but obviously, I mean, like hinting at like the tiny S's, like Skittles are
Mhm.
clearly the inspiration for it. But I guess I don't know specifically what they use, but it like comes up in the reviews.
Yeah, I looked through a couple of different like sites where they talked about it, and they all like hinted that it was made with those candy. Like it was made with the candy, which seems wild to me.
It does, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. A couple of reviews actually mention that. Do you want to go ahead and jump into some of those?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so we'll start with our bad. It's got a 1.52 out of 5.
Ooh.
So they say it smells exactly like opening a bag of Skittles. Original flavor, red bag. I really appreciate that they told us specifically. Yeah. It's the red bag ones. Don't give me any of that purple sour stuff.
Yeah, it's not even the actual sour ones.
Yeah, it's just original. No other hints are present, and absolutely nothing about the smell tells me this is a beer. Even though it smells delicious, in the same way a bag of Skittles smells delicious, I have to call this a negative due to a complete lack of indication of actual beer. It all goes off the rails here. It tastes like Skittles soaked in lemon juice. The sour ale is just sour, with no real ale flavor apparent at all. The artificial fruit flavors of Skittles are very overpowering, and the sourness doesn't mix well. If I want Skittles, I'll eat Skittles. What this beer tells me is that I don't want Skittles in my beer.
Well, then why did you buy a beer that the whole thing was being made with Skittles? Like,
well,
what the hell?
hold on now, because they give it the overall. Never again. I don't know what anybody sees in this. It's too sour with no actual ale flavor of note. The Skittles are too overpowering. There's too much carbonation. The artificial fruit sweetness does not mesh well with the sourness of the ale, and to top it off, there's artificial coloring in this. Definitely the worst thing I've ever tried from Prairie.
Wow.
Isn't that like the whole thing? Like, that's literally like the name without naming it Skittles. That's like as close as they get to telling you what this is gonna be.
Yeah, well, he like clearly like you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's like, oh man, a Skittles beer, I gotta try that. And then is like, if I wanted Skittles, I would have just eaten the candy. What the hell did you want?
I don't know. I think he just wanted a regular beer.
Yeah. Then why did you?
I thought this was gonna taste a little more like Miller Lite. Like what?
Yeah. I want to go back to my Coors.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is again maybe. Well, I don't know. He also complains about it just tasting sour, and like there's definitely like sweetness to it. Like it's not that's just
definitely
sour.
Sweet. Yeah, it's definitely sweet too.
So I don't know.
I do kind of agree with like maybe I guess like a handful of Skittles soaked in like a lot of lemon juice. I don't see that as a negative though. I'm liking that.
Yeah. And I mean like we did also point out that like whoa, like this doesn't taste like a normal beer that I've had.
It doesn't. Yeah, he's right. It doesn't taste or smell like a beer at all. Although he said it was like way too overcarbonated.
It's like a Radler.
Yeah, it does taste like a Radler. I don't think it's overcarbonated.
I don't either.
It's a different carbonation. It is a different carbonation than a regular beer, though. Because it is like, I guess it is a lot of carbonation, but it's like really, really small bubbles almost. Like that kind of feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we've got a good one. A 5 out of 5. Poured into shaker. Unfiltered grapefruit body, opaque and dull pink. Pink white head that dissipates to a big patch of lace. Actually, I have like zero lacing on mine.
Yeah, I didn't have any lacing.
I didn't have any that I noticed. This is where I wanted to see what you... It says they had dissolved pieces of candy floating in it. Did you see any of that?
What? No.
I knew to look for it, and I didn't see any, but I didn't know if you noticed any either.
I didn't see any at all.
Yeah, I didn't. I was kind of hoping, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. Like, oh, look, there it is. There's an S.
Yeah. Look how tiny it is.
And mine's got an M in it.
Jeez. Smells exactly like a handful of Skittles. Taste follows. I have to assume there's booze in this. I can't tell. Well, the dissolving pieces of candy added some texture. thick and smooth, lightly carved. When the revolution comes, beers like this will be first against the wall. We've gone too far, and we've much further to go.
What?
I don't know what that end means. I feel like this guy doesn't even remember what side he's fighting for.
Yeah, what?
Because he makes it, when the revolution comes, beers like this will be first against the wall, which seems like a bad thing. And then he continues with, we've gone too far, but we've much further to go. I'm like, wait, so you want to keep going?
Yeah, you want to keep pushing this limit?
That's what I'm saying. Some of these people, I don't know how, it like always ends so weird.
Next thing he's going to be saying, but I am just a humble dwarf.
Yeah.
Is that the end of that one?
That is the end. He ends it with the revolutionary talk, yeah.
All right. Yeah, one thing to note is that this one is have you already looked at the can? Have you looked at do you know what the alcohol percent is?
Oh, no, I don't.
Give a guess of what do you think the alcohol percentage is?
I'm going to go pretty low. Like 3?
It is at 5.5%, which I was like, wow. It does not taste like that at all. Which I know that 5.5 isn't like crazy, but it's not nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's right. It really doesn't taste like there's any alcohol. You kind of have to like just assume that it's in there because you really can't taste it.
Yeah, I don't taste any. It's wild. It was pretty good though.
Yeah, I finished mine like halfway through you reading the first bad review.
Jeez.
It's really easy to drink.
I think if I wasn't having to read so much, it would have been gone.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I could definitely see like this being like this is a good like summer evening beer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The second beer that we have is one that I picked because I said that I was looking and picking them out, and I knew that we had already picked a Prairie beer, but this one just sounded so off the wall wild to me that I had to know what it tasted like. And I'm going in fully thinking I'm not going to like it, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Prairie Artisan Ale Neapolitan Squeeze.
All right. How do you feel about Neapolitan ice cream?
Honestly, I'm not like that big of a fan.
I would say I like never pick it.
Yeah, me either, really. It's just like, I don't know. It's interesting that you say that, because we'll get into that with the history. But first, let's go ahead and open this one up.
Ooh.
Did you gently agitate?
Do you have chunks of stuff in yours?
Did you gently agitate?
No,
You're supposed to gently agitate. I said that earlier.
You did. Oh man, I was just about to say, I was like, wait, there's like chunks of stuff floating in here.
Oh my god, you're right. Yes. Dude, maybe we just missed the chunks of candy from the last one.
No, because this is like blatantly obvious.
Dude, there's like a lot of chunks.
Oh, we should have agitated slightly more firmly.
Okay, yeah, this one looks like one I'm not gonna like.
Well, I can't tell. I have no idea.
It smells wild.
Dude, those chunks floating around are... It is a little wild to see that.
Yeah, they're big. It's a lot. The beer is like it's speckled.
It's also like just thick enough that the chunks don't really move.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like they don't really sink. They just kind of follow the flow of like the liquid. But like they're just kind of all floating there.
I have a lot that is like sitting on the top of the head too.
I'm ready to give this a shot.
Okay. It smells wild.
That is wild.
What the hell? Oh my god.
It tastes like, I mean, obviously like Neapolitan, but like sharp Neapolitan? Like, does that make sense?
This one is way more sour. This one is sour.
Yeah, this is a sour beer. Dude, that is such a wild experience.
It is, because it tastes almost like the juice at the front. And then it tastes like a very deep flavor with the Neapolitan, with like that creaminess or whatever. And then it immediately like hits you in the back sides of your mouth and it tastes just sour.
Yeah.
That is such a weird drinking experience.
That is quite the experience.
I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like this.
I don't know how to describe it.
It looks like dirty water.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely does look like someone like sprinkled dirt and you're like, I need a new beer.
No. Have you ever do you have like a floor drain at your house?
Yes.
Have you ever like lifted the like little circular grate off your floor drain and all the rust kind of falls in and like the loose rust bits are like floating in there? That's what this looks like.
Yeah. Dude, that is wild.
That is so weird.
Hey, how much do you have sitting on the bottom? I like looked underneath mine. I have quite a bit now, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like yeast. Like it looks like Yeah, it looks like a bunch of like instant yeast before you stir it.
Are these the cacao nibs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. So I went out and I showed Jay.
Yeah.
And she looked horrified at the sight of it.
I'm gonna go show Bridget. Actually, that's a good idea.
Well, and then my wife, bless her heart, is not a beer drinker, and so she was like, "Can I smell it?" So I have her smell it, and she goes, "Big old whiff," and she goes, "It just smells like a regular beer." And I was like, "What? What?
No, it does not.
No, it does not."
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
right, I'm gonna go see what Bridget thinks. All she said was, "It looks like dehydrated urine."
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess so. With some extracurriculars.
With one major problem, yeah.
Okay, so we already covered the history of Prairie. So for this one, I looked up the history of what Neapolitan ice cream was.
Ooh.
Neapolitan ice cream actually hails from Prussia. And it was originally created by the royal head chef Louis Ferdinand Jonguet. No idea if that's how you say that, but that's what I'm going with. In 1839, as a new dessert for Forst Puckler, who was the Russian Puckler at the time, I guess, or I don't even know. He was like a royal.
Is that a title or a name?
I don't know.
We just call him Puckler.
Puckler. Forst Puckler. And it's first, but like with a U. Like Bratwurst.
Oh yeah, Bratwurst.
Bratwurst Puckler. So it was made as a dessert for this guy to try. And literally the only defining characteristic that makes something Neapolitan ice cream is that it combines 3 flavors that are together but not mixed into one another. It can be any 3. That's it. That's the
really?
Thing. It can be any 3.
This changes everything. All right, so it's just the combination of any 3 flavors.
Yes, the combination of any 3 flavors.
I guess not the combination. What do you call them? Like the side-by-side pairing of 3 flavors.
So the original 3 flavors that were combined, traditionally it was pistachio, vanilla, and cherry.
Oh.
And because of that, it was green, white, and kind of off red pink.
Yeah.
So whenever it came to the United States, people were like, "Oh, it looks like the Italian flag. It must be a Neapolitan." That's where the name comes from. It's wrong.
I was gonna ask where the name came from. If it was like Prussian or whatever.
No, that's the whole thing. Is people were just like, "Oh, it looks like Italy flag. Must be Neapolitan." and after misnaming it, they changed the flavors because they didn't like pistachio and cherry. The three most popular flavors at the time when it entered the United States was vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And because that was like ended up being the biggest market, those are now the standard flavors.
That's hilarious.
It's kind of interesting how uninteresting the history of it is, right? Like you would think that it would be like, "Oh yeah, no, it would make sense. It's from Naples and blah blah blah," you know? Nope.
Yeah.
Just some dude was like, "I'm gonna stick 3 ice creams together and feed it to this dude," and then it makes its way to America and they misname it, and then they change the 3 flavors. But yeah, that's it. It can be any 3 flavors, all next to each other.
Dude, I also wonder if like, what was that guy's name? First Puckler or something?
First Pukler.
If he was like bored of ice cream and he tells the chef, I don't want ice cream anymore.
Yeah.
And the chef goes back there, is like, check this shit out.
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 flavors of ice cream, but I'm not gonna mix them. Here you go. It's, oh my god, brilliant.
Or he just got served like one thing of ice cream and he was like, triple it.
That or they just had just a little bit left of each flavor. He hadn't gone to the store. I was like, oh fuck, well I gotta commit to ice cream tonight, so.
Yeah, we gotta serve him something.
Jesus.
So the bottle on this one, or the can, is the Neapolitan squeeze is inspired by everyone's first, second, and 9th favorite flavor of ice cream. Honestly, it tastes way better as a beer than it ever tasted as an ice cream. And also on the can it says sour ale with strawberry, cacao nibs, vanilla, and lactose.
That's funny.
I gotta imagine that the strawberry is the 9th favorite, right?
I assume so.
Okay.
Do you like strawberry ice cream?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I guess that tracks. What do you think right now? I looked up 3 different online articles that claim to know the top. Well, they claimed to know the top 10 ice cream flavors in the U.S. But what do you think in 2024? What are the current top 3 U.S. ice cream flavors?
Chocolate?
That is in the top 3, yeah.
Vanilla?
Yes. So vanilla's number 1, chocolate's number 2.
Okay. And then number 3, and this isn't going to be one of those things where it's like vanilla bean or something, like a derivative of it.
Not like that. It kind of is derivative.
Is it going to be like a like Rocky Road kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of, I guess.
I'm going to
like
go...
that, but it's not Rocky Road.
I'm going to go cookies and cream.
Yes! Yeah, it's cookies and cream. Which is really...
That's my favorite.
It's really just vanilla and chocolate. Like, it's vanilla ice cream with a chocolate cookie.
And some texture.
Mm. So that would be... Oh, yeah, I just took another drink. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it.
I'm almost done.
It's so bizarre!
It is bizarre.
Dude, my mouth is like watering because it's like so sour.
It is very sour, yeah. Much more sour than the first was, for sure.
Yeah, okay. If that dude who was like, this thing is just sour, there's no sweetness to it, I would love to see him taste this thing.
Yeah. He'd hate it.
He would shit himself.
All right. You want to get into some reviews?
Yeah, let's see it.
So this one, kind of similar to last episode, there's just not a ton of reviews on it. So of the reviews, like the lowest one I found was 3.25, which obviously like isn't particularly bad. Just the lowest one that I got to go off of. So appearance, the beer was a brownish yellow color. If only I had a better reference point than toilet water. Smell, the nose was definitely sour, like underripe strawberries. Taste, there really was not much Neapolitan about this beer. It was sour, almost citric. The lactose was very detectable. Can you tell that, like, can you detect the lactose?
I guess I've never tasted just straight lactose by itself. Or I guess outside of like with like milk.
Right.
So I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Just
I feel
tasting
like there's
the lactose?
almost like a slight creaminess to it, but I feel like that's from the cacao nibs floating around, right?
Yeah, I don't get creaminess. Not really.
All right. Well, let's finish this one. Mouthfeel. The body had some staying power. Overall, this was ungood.
Ungood?
Ungood.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It like actively harmed him.
Yeah.
I feel like it like undid any good that they had going on.
Yeah. It ruined his night.
But they still gave it a 3.25, which is so weird to me. I'm like, that's not bad.
Yeah, that is still weird. Or that is still like pretty high. It's almost like the IGN of beer reviews of being like,
Yeah.
This beer is not good. I didn't like it. My wife left me after it, and I lost my job. Overall, it has a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah. All right. The good rating, 3.72. This is from a time traveler, I assume. 12-ounce can. Can bottom is stamped. Canned on 11/29/2213.
Whoa, dude. Mine's stamped
Actually,
on 11/29/2212.
Oh, crap. Mine is too.
What the hell?
This guy's a future ahead of us. Or one
Yeah,
way future. 1 year ahead of us.
He's a future ahead.
He is a future ahead of us. Cloudy, dark apricot colored body, brief off-white head, darker particles of residue, no lacing. Aroma of strawberry and vanilla. Cacao is vague. Taste is sour and sweet from the vanilla and lactose. Flavors of strawberry and vanilla. Cacao is again vague. Medium mouthfeel, slick texture, good carbonation. Pastry sour but missing the cacao. Floating particles are a distraction.
That's how he
I don't
ends
know if
it?
I'd call him a distraction. Yeah, that's just it.
Distraction. Now, also,
He's from the future. He doesn't have time to talk to us.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have time to waste on the floating cacao.
Yeah, that is, he just complains about how the cacao is too vague.
Now, I will say, he's right. It doesn't really have lacing, although I might motion to say that the dried out cacao nibs that are hanging out on the side of the glass, that is this beer's lacing.
Yeah, it's a textured lace.
Because I definitely have that.
I do too. All right, you know what? I didn't mind it.
I don't really like it.
I mean, it's not my favorite or anything, but
it's way too sour for me.
It was pretty sour. Honestly, I feel like I could taste the cacao, but I feel like when you got a good chunk of them, it kind of helped get rid of some of that bite. Yeah, get rid of some of the bite from the sour.
I say you can definitely smell it.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely smell the cacao.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god!
All right, moving on to number 3.
Are you gonna finish yours?
I did. I already finished it.
Oh, I still have like half of mine.
Yeah, you know what's a little bit disheartening?
What?
It sucks that poor and sour don't rhyme.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. Only for this one episode would that be an
for this one episode, it would have been cool.
Oh my god. Short sore. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Short, yeah.
Or short power.
Yeah, short power. April Sours. See, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, English.
Okay, all right. Are we moving on to our third one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start our third. So our third one was another recommendation. This one we got off Instagram from Table for Brew. Our third beer is Boulevard Berry Noir. We're going to go ahead and pour them?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one. Okay,
Ooh.
yeah. This is more what I was expecting some of the other ones to look like, I guess. This doesn't look like a beer. This looks like the sparkling Welch's grape juice.
Yeah, it does. Hey, how aggressively did you pour yours?
Not super aggressively, but there's a huge head on it.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought I was like pretty easy on it, and it's got a giant head.
Yeah, it does. Which actually, from the book that I've been reading, I think I told you about this before. The judge's pour.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, from a can, the appropriate way to pour a beer is to just go straight at the bottom and pour until, like, you can't fit any more in with the head, and then you let that head go down, and then you pour it straight on the bottom again, and you just do that until you can fit the entire thing in there.
Hmm.
And then he says like the little bit of like delayed gratification allows all the flavors to get fully expressed, and you will get a more similar taste and a more similar pour to as if it were on draft. And that's from like the
Interesting.
bottle or can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not me talking, you know, that's the old brewmaster Randy talking.
Randy, what was his name? Grubel? What was his name?
What?
What was that guy's last name? Randy what?
Randy Grubel? It's Randy Mosher. Where did you get Grubel?
I don't know. I thought there was a G in there for sure.
I think you're mixing him up with Louis
Hans Gruber?
No, with Louis Ferdinand Jongui. Maybe. I don't know. That's the only other like or First Puckler. That's the only other names we've said.
Dude, I don't know where I got that name from.
All right, I've got almost all of it in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
All right, mine's all in.
I'm not quite, but I'm very close. You know what this looks like? This looks like that, like the Barg's red cream soda.
Really? You think? Can't you like see through that?
I'm in like a very poorly lit room.
I'll say it also looks very like I don't know. It looks really really pink. Like you can definitely see like the raspberry.
All right, I'll believe you. I just have a light, like a small lamp in this room.
All right, you ready to taste?
Give me just a second. I want some of the head to go down a little bit more. I'm nervous.
Why? I think this one's gonna be good. Although it already smells very tart. It smells very dry and tart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, the can says dark, tart, crisp.
Yep, they nailed it. Somebody looked at it really well because they nailed it. All right, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Ooh. Okay.
Dude, so I feel like I initially got just like straight grape juice.
Yeah.
But the very end of it does kind of have like a like dry wine.
Yeah.
Kind of like a linger to it.
Yeah, it has more of that dry berry.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Also,
it's not bad.
I
wasn't expecting it, I guess.
I think this one is actually like right in the middle between the other two that we've had. Of where like it is more sour than the first one, but it is more sweet than the Neapolitan one.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. It's like right in the middle between the two. All right, you want some history?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, we had done Boulevard before when we did the Boulevard wheat in the first episode. So with this being such a unique style of beer, and again, with us not being sour people really, and really having a whole lot of experience, this part we're just going to focus on the history of sours. So normally in the brewing process, they want to maintain like a really sanitary environment to guard against the addition of like wild yeasts or other things getting into microbes getting into the batch. But in this style, they like purposefully want the addition of that. So they want wild yeast to get in there or other bacteria to get into the process. Another way they can do it is by just like adding fruit to help make the beer sour. Either way, between those two kinds of methods, I guess, it's going to help increase the acids that are present. And that's what contributes to the tart flavor. So that's kind of why we like. I think earlier you said I think you said something about like vinegar or something.
Mm-hmm. I said that the first time I ever tried a sour beer,
yes,
I made that face as if I had just tasted vinegar.
Yes, yeah. So it is acidic, and obviously vinegar is too. So that's kind of like where you get that. The first sour beers were brewed in Belgium in the early 18th century, but a few of the things I read kind of mentioned how essentially at the time all beers would have been considered some level of sour because they didn't have a good understanding of sanitation methods or good methods of keeping things separated out anyway until about the mid 1800s, and they kind of got a better grasp on that and how to uh, you know,
Keep
sequester
everything.
their batch away, from the
Yeah,
rest.
that's pretty cool.
But I feel like they've definitely been growing or like becoming like a lot more common.
Yeah, kind of coming back around again. Well, like that one guy was talking about with the revolution. It's, I guess, like, with like the craft beer boom, a lot of like the major types have been done a lot, and there's so many like variations of lagers and pale ales and pilsners. Like,
Yeah.
those have been done by so many companies now. So I feel like, yeah, this one is, I feel like it's a ripe area for some innovation.
Yeah. I also feel like I don't know how well this connection works, but almost kind of like the like art movements of like people got really really good at drawing, and then the photograph came around, so the art movements turned into like totally the opposite of like we're gonna do something that doesn't even look like what you
Realistic
would
anymore.
expect or normal. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
the other stuff can be done a million times over.
Yeah, that's fair. So like they want to make it like shitty and be like, look, you'll still drink and you'll still spend money on this for our bad badge.
Yeah, like this whole thing went awry, but we just called it a sour, so people started drinking it.
I will say also, this one does actually have like some legitimate lacing.
Yeah, it does. Mine definitely. This one has much more of a traditional, like I mean, the color isn't beer, like what you would expect from a beer, but like the head's still like a little bit of head still there. It still has like the like lacing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more closer to what I would expect.
I feel like the carbonation is closer to regular beer as well.
Hmm. All right, you got it back to the bottle for this one.
Yes, dark, tart, crisp. No, I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
kidding. I'm just
I was gonna say.
kidding. No, this one is pouring a deep purple with electric magenta foam. This brand new juicy ale features notes of blueberries and blackberries with a crisp tartness reminiscent of lemonade. A light, spritzy body amplifies the refreshing qualities of this fruited sour and begs for another sip. I can like I also think that they got spot on with the electric magenta.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a pretty
and
good descriptor.
I guess even like the can is like a like synth wave kind of like aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is because it has like that color gradient of the
Yeah, I
purples.
mean like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
it looks
think
cool.
obviously you get like the like I guess like blackberry color. And
Hmm.
I think maybe some of the dryness on the back is probably that blueberries. Because if you've ever eaten like just like raw blueberries, like straight, you know what I mean? Like it is kind of like that little bit of like yeah, that like dry tartness.
Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't. It almost kind of has like a wine kind of vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for some reviews?
Yeah, I'm interested to see because I'm clearly not I'm not the demographic for these things, I guess. So I'm interested to see what people will say because I like this one also.
Hmm. Well, and I don't know. Again, like we aren't like we had only ever had one sour beer before, and neither one of us like enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, we're definitely trying like a totally different thing than what we're used to. But the so again here, not a ton of reviews. Lowest here is a 3.0. Refreshing sour, just as the name suggests, it is really sour. Good though and refreshing. Nice blueberry and blackberry flavor in the aftertaste. Tastes a bit like carbonated white berry wine. Zero sweetness. Anyway, no classic lager exactly. So if you are new to sours, think of wine instead. That's the most similar, but still good. Suitable for Christmas or summer. Feels a bit solemn in a way to me, like a drink I would want in a celebration. Maybe midsummer.
But what it feels a bit solemn.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think this person. I don't know. I do not think this word means what you think it means.
Well, also
Let
like
me.
suitable for Christmas or summer. No, wait, those are two different experiences for me.
Okay. Maybe we don't know the state this person's in. I did not know of this definition. So solemn can mean not cheerful or smiling, serious, which is what I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess it could also mean formal and dignified, or being characterized by a deep sincerity.
Hey.
So like a solemn oath, like I solemnly swear.
Yeah. I guess I took that as like a serious kind of thing
Yeah. But
too. But the middle definition I didn't know.
I still don't think this person used the right word.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what word would have fit better there.
So what did I say again?
Suitable for Christmas or summer. Feels a bit solemn in a way to me, like a drink I would want in a celebration. Maybe midsummer. Is midsummer a celebration? Or are they just like naming a time?
Midsummer takes place in June and is a celebration of the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. It is one of the most celebrated holidays in Sweden.
You think this person's Swedish and that's why they know the other definition of solemn?
Yeah,
because they actually had to learn English instead of just like hearing it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they know our language better than us.
They actually know other definitions for words. Yeah. Oh man. Huh. I didn't know that.
All right, what's the good one or the better one?
All right, so the good one, they got a 4.82.
Wow.
Definitely one I'll buy again, especially for the price. It's definitely the best sour I've had in its price range. For less than $2 a can, this is definitely going to be the one I bring to those summer night pool parties and offer to a friend who claims I can't stand the taste of beer, as they imagine an IPA or a lager. Because I was kind of the same way, and sours like this is what changed my mind and opened me up to the diverse world of beers. To tag on to what someone else said, if you like grape juice, or I'd say cranberry juice cocktail, but could do without the overly sweet syrupy flavor, and would rather replace it with a tart, sour, lemony carbonation, then you'd love this beer.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good
kind of like, you said like the Welch's kind of thing at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what that was what I got. I'm sure that Jay would actually really like this beer. That is true. All three of these, like, if you were to give me a glass of them, and I didn't see like the can, and I didn't know what it was, I just knew that like, oh yeah, it's alcoholic. Like I wouldn't immediately be like, oh yeah, that's a beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The interesting thing to me is that like in this review, they said that this was what opened them up to beers.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like I like a lot of beers, and sours are the ones that like
are the weird ones.
They're like their own separate thing. Yeah, like I don't think of them when I think of like I'm gonna get a beer.
Yeah, for sure. But that is kind of cool though. Just like, yeah, there's like tons of avenues to get into it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They found their own way in. That's fine. It just isn't like I said. It's just not like my most common one, I guess, when I think of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bub. I'm going to debut a new game for us.
All right, let's do it.
It is called In a Court of Lager. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick two people that have appeared in this episode that are both deserving of a beer. Your goal is to convince me of the one that deserves the beer more. I will play devil's advocate, and you're going to have to try to convince me of the other one. And at the end of it, I will give a ruling of which one is more deserving of the beer.
I feel like we need like a third person to judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do. We need like an unbiased tiebreaker. Do you want to try to call a third party?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, what are you doing right now? All right, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay. So, Alex, you are now charged with being the judge in a court of lager. We will each present to you one person that is desperately in need of a beer, and your goal is to determine which one needs the beer more.
Okay.
Do you understand your task as it has been said to you?
I do, and I accept.
Oh, good. All right, Judge, I present to you Louis Ferdinand Zhenghui. He was a chef for a Prussian royal family. He was tasked with creating a dessert that would satisfy the family. He ultimately created Neapolitan ice cream. But in this time, there was risk of beheading and other torturous devices had he failed. And I think that the stress of creating a new dessert is deserving of a beer.
Okay.
So one reviewer of a beer that we had tonight, he had a beer that was given to him in the year 2213. So he time traveled to that year or back from that year to leave a review so that way we could read it in 2024. And I think that discovering and utilizing the use of time travel, and obviously the future was so bad that he needed an outlet and he chose this beer as one. I feel like if beer was his only last refuge because of how bad the future was and figuring out time travel, he is very in need of a beer.
Yeah, so I just want to make it very clear that I don't take this job lightly.
Please, thank you.
This was just, kind of foisted upon me, and I've already made it a very central portion of my identity. But I think... Shit, I'm going to have to rehear these names.
It's Chef Louis Ferdinand Zhenghui, or it is Anonymous Time Traveler.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that, guillotines and shit are stressful, and also just desserts in general. But time travel is, that's pretty scientific and difficult to figure out.
Can I object? I object. That was pure speculation. We have no idea who invented the time travel.
All right, okay.
He's just using it. Okay, I would like to counter. The time traveler perhaps lives in a world where time traveling is so easy that they could come back to us to leave reviews on beer because it's such a, nonchalant task. Or if this person is capable of time traveling, they themselves could just time travel to the next point when they get a beer.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
My rebuttal on the chef. All he did was stick 3 separate flavors of ice cream together. He phoned in his dessert, so I don't think that he was that worried about the backlash from whatever he put in front of him. Because he put in the bare minimum effort into presenting that dish.
Well, he could have only put 2 flavors of ice cream.
Hey, your time's up.
So, point of information. Did all of the ice creams that make up Neapolitan ice cream exist at that time?
Yes.
Or did he invent all 3 ice creams?
No, they already existed. He just put them all 3 together, but
he
didn't
just put
mix them together.
Side by side. Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of think I'm still gonna have to go with time travel just because it's amazing. So I think I'm gonna have to say, Anonymous Time Traveler, you have been found thirsty in a court of lager.
That really cut out your woo.
Yeah, it did. Did it again.
I know, I did that time.
But yeah, I think it has to go to time travel.
All right. I'm one for one, baby. Thanks for being such a good sport.
Oh, of course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's Alex, our Arizona correspondent.
The Honorable Alex. The Arizona correspondent.
Yeah.
The Honorable Alex, our Arizona correspondent.
There
Sorry,
we go.
Your Honor. All right, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for us this week on Short Pour.
All right, well, thanks for listening. We had a couple recommendations in this episode. If you would like to give us a recommendation for an upcoming episode, you can email us at shortpourpod@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at shortpourpodcast.
And since this episode was April Sours, that means next month we'll bring May Flowers. So give us your floral beer recommendations. And until next time, whether you pour short
Or pour long.
always finish.
I cannot believe I still lost that.
Dude, I can't believe that you lost that either. I thought that there was no way. Because mine was like a fake person as a joke, and your guy actually did that.
Yeah.